Hello, Nerv. Hello, Nervians. The strong and handsome people. I am Dagik. I am your host today, and we got Manatee here.
Hi.
And good old Arthilmorn, your raid leader. Hi, guys. How's it going tonight?
Hello.
So energetic. So much energy. I love it.
We're saving all of our energy for tomorrow.
Yeah, for tomorrow. It's raid day tomorrow, guys. Raid day. So we're 3 weeks into BFA. Let's just go ahead and start off with the usual. How was everyone's week on that last hustle to get to your Heart of Azurite 20? Heart of Azurite, yep.
If I pushed harder, I could have been 22, for sure.
22?
So I didn't have much of a push. I just did everything.
What about you, Arth? Where are you at? What's the big...
I'm sitting at 20. My personally was pretty easy towards the end.
Yeah. Yeah, so I felt like for the people who were able to actually take the time off, if you didn't miss any world quests and you were just able to just kind of like go, getting into 20 was a little easier versus like the people who weren't able to take time off. Getting into 20 was pretty easy still, but getting any higher, because I think originally we were going for the 22, but 20 is a nice little number. But so let's talk about something here. How are you guys enjoying the expansion so far? So it's been 3 weeks, right? We're 3 weeks into the expansion. We've had time to settle in, get our ooh and ahs out of the way, start turning off the music and playing with our music in the game again. How are you guys feeling? Manatee, we'll start with you. How are you feeling about it?
It feels good. It's just a little repetitive now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just waiting for tomorrow to shake things up and make things different.
Have you had time to play through the Horde storyline yet?
I'm not gonna play Horde. Are you kidding me?
What?
Die hard.
Well, you have to at least see the story. The story's pretty good on Horde side, to be honest.
No.
It's
If you play Horde, you're a traitor.
okay.
You can't deny it.
I might
the
get
Banshee Queen.
I might get crucified for this, but I think the
She
Horde.
worked on R3.
I think the Horde had some of the better ending cutscenes in their story. Like, because we had like the whole Jaina thing, and then they had the whole thing with Princess. I can never say her name, man.
Princess Uglyface?
Yeah, Princess Trollface. That girl. But, dude, they're fighting on this big pyramid thing, and then there comes, like, a fucking void old god bitch just, like, walking down, and he's like, hey, I'm here, I'm firing my laser, and you're sitting there going, like, yo, King Dude, why aren't you going after him?
I don't know. To me, I just hear traitor.
Oh my God.
Traitor to
Oh, my God.
Fort Anduin.
Have you guys started your next 120s?
Yes, I'm almost 118 on my monk.
Okay.
I'm only doing it so that I can get the oh my gosh, the battle scarred rune thingies.
Oh, the, augment runes.
I can't augment runes.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you're DPS, fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Wait, you guys need augment runes?
I mean,
Yeah.
oh god.
You dick.
Oh, we don't have our background music playing. Oh shit. I'm sorry, dudes. Background music. So, yeah. So, like, how are you guys feeling like versus the first initial 3 weeks versus Legion? Like, do you feel? I feel like Legion and BFA are essentially like. I feel like they're both at the same quality. First couple of days impression wise, like I'm generally surprised. Like I'm not like so with Legion I was surprised, right? Because we got out of WAD. With BFA, I don't feel like that I was wowed any more than I was when I was in Legion, except for the fact that we got a hell of a lot more cutscenes than we ever did.
I didn't ever play at the beginning of Legion, so.
Oh, you didn't? Arth, you did.
This is the first expansion that I've ever played at the beginning, so.
Wait, hold on. Go ahead.
My experience with Legion at the start was very easy. I felt like the game was a lot easier to get artifact power. In the legendary elite, well, I know it was a special case scenario. I got my first legendary out of a war quest emissary first try. But it is, for me, it just felt easier compared to this, where it was more of a rough grind and more of a AP grind.
Mm-hmm.
At least in my personal opinion.
So, Manatee, let's talk. We're gonna get into the Uldir stuff here soon, I promise. But first expansion was Legion, really? What?
No,
What?
That
Oh.
was my first expansion. I've just never played the beginning of the expansion.
Oh.
I always like come in 3 months after everything's already said and done.
So what kept you? Was it Nerv? It was Nerv.
Yes, it honestly was. It was Nerv. It was the community was being part of something
Mm-hmm.
that I wanted to stay around for.
The thing about this game is like you can sit here and you can raid, and you could be a solo player and you can raid and you just do the content and just be done with it. But it like having like that next level, like obviously you can progress, but having that next level like community added within, just people that you enjoy playing with, makes like it's so much more. It gives you more to do, like especially like in our downtime. Like keeping the guild active and doing stuff during the downtime in Legion was extremely easy because people wanted to hang out. So.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and get into this here. We got a couple of community announcements. I'll go ahead and let Manatee take over. This is the part of the podcast where Manatee does all the community stuff. So the floor is yours, milady.
All right, so first, thing is member of the month this month for September is Senna. So everybody give him a, round of applause. Congratulations.
Woo! Woo!
We have three new members. Silver Bella, she's a DM hunter. We have Ro Gold, who is a disc priest, and Ro Druid, who is a balance druid. And as for events, not this weekend, but next weekend, we're going to have a Cards Against Humanity event. I'm not sure if we're going to do it on Saturday or Sunday. I'm going to put out a poll. So be looking for that in Discord the next few days.
And those are fun, by the way, guys. Like, those get really fun. Yeah. Oh, hey, the dogs are here.
Something to do outside of the guild. Or outside of the guild, outside of the game. And just have a ton of fun. Then we have a giveaway going on. It's called a Nerv airdrop. And it's going on from now until the 22nd. You have until the 22nd to message me your entry. And all you have to do is something creative that has to do with Nerv, like paint, make a video.
So what's in this box? Like, you guys, this box is actually fucking legit.
It's the biggest giveaway we've ever done.
Right. So, if you don't mind, while you're talking about it, can I go ahead and show them the picture you sent me earlier today?
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and tell them about it. And I'll show them the picture while you're talking about it.
So inside of the picture he's about to show you guys, we're going to have a pair of socks, a keychain. We'll have a trading card game pet and a trading card game toy. A Traveler Pepe plush, and inside is going to be like a secret message. There's going to be an Alliant pendant necklace, a stack of golden chocolate coins, the collector's edition code for the FA, a month of game time, which instead of putting it in the box, we're going to send you gold in game, but there'll be like the little sack of coins will be the month of game time. A Nerv t-shirt, and then there will be some EFA herbs, which will be like Kool-Aid that you can mix, and it'll be like a potion or something. So
it's really cool.
That's a lot of stuff.
It's fucking huge, guys. Like, you don't understand. Like, it is really cool. Like, the letter's gonna have it's not just like a box, right? It is like a chest. And the letter that's inside, yeah, it's like a treasure chest, and like inside, like you have, you have the letter, like it has like the Nerv wax seal on it. It's really good. I'm excited to see who's gonna win it. I'm excited because like whoever gets it, we're gonna ask if they would record it and their reaction and send it to us, because like it is really cool.
But yeah, just make sure you get your entries in before the 22nd. Don't forget.
Oh yeah.
Epic.
Oh yeah. And this is this is gonna happen every 3 months, right?
Every 3 months, and you can only win once because it's such a big giveaway. But
So what else do we got?
That's it for events and community stuff.
Hey, can you speak up a little bit, Mandy?
Yeah, hello?
Oh, there we go. I fixed it. They were saying it was hard to hear you.
Oh, okay.
All right, so yeah, that's it for community stuff. She's gonna hold on. Someone in Guild asking where the podcast is at. So yeah, all right, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the main topics tonight then. Uldir raid. Who's ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready, Arth?
Get him back in the saddle.
Yeah, dude.
not raiding for how many months now has really killed me.
Yeah, how long has it been since we last raided?
It's been a few months.
Yeah.
Lower
July?
the music volume just a tiny bit. Gotcha.
But no, really, we can talk about a little bit about how we are going into it. We're going to go into Raiders with 340 item level with 20 Heart of Azeroth traits, which I think will be very well with trying to get onto these harder bosses. There is a huge gear and skill check right off the bat for the third boss in the raid encounter.
Oh yeah.
Which I think was a good idea that we upped our item level requirement a tiny bit.
Yes.
And we lowered down our Heart of Azeroth grind a tiny bit.
Right. And the thing is like we said before, and I don't want to talk about it too much, but like Legion was our baby expansion, right? That's where the guild was born. We we grew and we formed, and now we're like, all right, let's fucking ram this bitch. We're all going into Mythic. We want cutting edge, so we said this time around we were going to set like higher standards and whatnot. But so Arth, you're the raid lead. Obviously, I'm your raid assist, but I mean, I'm just your sexy assistant. What are the requirements other than the item level and the Heart of Azeroth, as far as like what if I was a new raider, what would I need to do to be prepared?
You probably have to come to raid with food, flask, potions, augment runes, things in that nature.
Are we using the augment runes in heroic and normal?
You can if you want to, but they're mostly for mythic.
Okay. And as far as we are asking if we have add-ons, you're going to make sure your add-ons are up to date. You're going to need personal loot helper. You are going to need exorcist raid tools. You're going to need DEBM or bigwigs or weak auras. And of course,
I would like to point out something too.
Go for it. Yeah.
Come prepared with your rolls. Do not say, "Hey, wait a minute, I need to go get my rolls." Do not do that.
Yes. That's actually a really good point, and I didn't bring it up in our updates. I forgot about that. I actually forgot about that. So thank you.
I got you.
You got me. You want to make sure your mythic loot sheet's filled out, for sure. And then the thing is, there's a little bit of a misunderstanding or thinking that we're kind of like hand-only loot, but we're not. We understand like personal loot and the way it's working. Like right now, like a lot of the loot is going to be on you guys, and you throw it up in the personal loot helper thing, and you kind of opt out to see who wants it. But what the mythic loot sheet does is when we get into mythic, it helps us see who needs bosses and where they need bosses, what loot they need. So when we're building the teams together and deciding who gets to come to which fights and who needs it the most, we can look at that, and that's what helps us decide that. So it's important that after every raid that you're updating that. And then of course, don't run normal or heroic Uldir. We'll be doing that as a guild. And we have new raid times. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 to 12. We start at 9. We do invites at 15 minutes prior to the raid. But we start and pull the boss, either to pull the boss or to trash at 9. That's when we're going, right? But yeah. So I don't know, Arth. You want to just go ahead and get into the first boss here, guys? You want to talk about the first boss?
Sure. The first boss encounter that we're going to come into contact with will be Talok. He's a pretty simple boss. He's probably the most patchworky fight that we're going to come into contact with as far as this raid goes. He has 3 phases. The first phase, he just stands there and he targets you guys randomly with this AoE drop, which you just bring to the left of the room, which is kind of something that didn't remind me of Nathindra, but it feels like Nathindra. You get targeted by this ability and you take it to the edge of their room.
It's a really good first boss, honestly, I think.
I definitely think it's a good boss,
It's a little bit more challenging.
If it's going to be somebody's first boss playing this game. I just think it's funny that they kind of have reused Nathindra's take the AoE to somewhere else mechanic.
Right. And the thing is the reason why I really like this boss is, always with your first raid boss, it's generally kind of like a pretty easy, just, pinata, more or less, right? We can look at, every boss in the history of every start of the expansion, like you said, Nathindra, We had, oh damn, who was the first boss of Highmall Raid? It was Kargath? It was the arena guy. But like every boss is essentially like a tank and spank, right? This one's, I feel like they kind of went a little like the extra mile with it, because just like you said, there are globals that you need to put down into the ground, and then there's a little extra mechanic of where like the tank needs to go over there and clear it out. And not only that, like the elevator moves, right? Like we're fighting on an elevator, and I think that's cool. It feels a little different as far as like a traditional first boss goes.
I agree with you.
Agree.
But it kind of gets that shock factor too, because we're up there. It's a semi-small room, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that big of a room, and then we go down there below, and it's like this huge open space.
Yeah. Do you think there's anything that is going to be very challenging for us as a guild going into that we need to look out for? Or, like, what do you think is going to be the most challenging thing going into that fight?
On Talok?
Mm-hmm.
Probably dealing with the going down phase 2. When I don't think it'll be challenging per se, but I think it's definitely we're all gonna be having to stack up in this tight little area, moving around on the platform, which can be hard to sometimes see.
Right.
Spawn underneath your feet.
Right. Any tips for the raiders in the guild going into that?
Watch the video.
Watch the video. Don't be afraid to stack your AoEs on top of each other. Let's say that you have a pretty good defensive, like bubble or ice block. You can just sit there and stack it up and make somebody's job a lot easier over there.
For sure, especially mages. I know we got 3 mages, so ice block for sure is going to be really handy going into that fight.
I'm wondering if Turtle will work for him.
Exactly.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. We'll have to find out.
It's going to be a really easy first fight for us, I feel like. And, you know, actually what I'm going to do right now is I will go ahead and set up a display capture really quick for the other monitor. So you guys can go ahead and see that Arth and I actually had been working on this playbook for how long, Arth? We started this in Legion, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
We started this in Legion, we worked on it for a bit, and then a lot of procrastination later, and there it is. This playbook's awesome, and, you know, is a little bit formatted weirdly. I know, like, different sections are formatted differently, and that's something we'll fix on the next playbook whenever we go into the next raid. But essentially what Arth and I did is we sat down and we compiled pretty much all the data there was. We looked at Fat Boss Guys, we read Wowhead, you know, we read and looked at everything that there was available for us, and then we took all the data and compiled it into what they were saying and looked at all the fights. So like if we look at Talek right here, you know, like he was talking about with the plasma discharge, the Crudgel of Gore, I mean, it's all right here, guys. So it's really handy. Read the playbook, it helps you out a lot, and it gives a little TLDR there for what we're doing. So, Talek's an easy one. But what about Mother?
Oh, I'm excited for Mother.
Thoughts on Mother? Yeah?
Mother?
Yeah, Mother.
Mother. Yes, Mother.
Mother's gonna be probably the easiest encounter that we got.
I believe you're trolling.
No, I'm not trolling. It's not that hard.
No, I actually agree with him. I do.
I think it's going to be difficult.
Well, most of the... Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you, please.
Well, all you're doing is we're fighting the first room, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to have the raid leader just be able to identify, is there fire in the room? Yes or no? As soon as fire disappears, just say group 1, go through. Group 2. Group 3. As soon as those ads clear, just keep sending people through. It's very easy encounter.
Yeah, I feel like...
I think it's easy to say, but I feel like it's going to be harder than you think to execute.
Not really. All you have to do is just have people on deck. And, like, get standing right next to there as people are going through. And we also would have on our T-notes, like, who's next.
Yeah, and the thing is like, the most challenging part of this fight is the organization of it. Because once everyone gets that organization down, and they know what groups they're going in on, really the rest of it kind of falls into place. That is the most challenging part of it. It's just the rooms. Because, like, the ads, I mean, like, you had to interrupt them, stun them. I mean, everyone's pretty good at that. And I feel like with the raiders that we're bringing, a lot of them are very self-aware of what they're needing to be doing. So I don't think we'll run into many issues with that one. At least I don't hope we don't.
Pug in this first week. But, nah, it'll be pretty easy.
Any tips? I know I got one for range bros. I got one for the range dudes. So when the wind's coming, what's the name of that ability?
Frigid winds or whatever.
Yeah. There's a place, and that's something that we were gonna look at when we go into Norm. But there is a place, I don't know exactly where it is, where you can position yourself to where you don't have to worry about like running to the boss. So you just kind of like stand against a wall and just keep doing your thing. That's something we're gonna look for when we're in there. I think that you have it on one of your notes as one of the questions asked, arranged, is or to look out for. Is there a place that is safe for us to stand?
Mm-hmm.
But any thoughts on what you think would probably be if we were to struggle? What would you think would be the part that we struggle on the most?
There's two like weak points that could happen in this. First weak points in the second room where you have to stand on the golden swirlies to avoid getting beamed. Third struggle is frigid winds on the third room, where there's the four-way beam coming down on us.
Right.
That part's gonna be hard, I think.
You think it's gonna be the beam part?
The beam with the wind.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I see. I didn't think that was gonna be that hard at all. The beams with the wind.
Well, they can change directions.
Oh, I actually forgot about that. Okay, I can see how that could be a little difficult. So Joseph here, for Joseph 1537, I can't learn how to do fights from reading. I need to watch the videos and basically just do the fight once. 100% with you there, man. So when we were putting these things together, like, I told Arth, I was like, you know, I know what the abilities are named, their names are, I know a generalization of what the fights are, but to really sink my teeth into it and understand it, I need to do it. And do it once. And then I got it. That's where most of my ideas are going to come from as a raid assist. When I say I'm going to notice things, I'll let them know like that, is from doing it. But, you know, that again, that's why when we're going into the raids, we're like three pulls on something, and then we're just calling it like we should get it by that point. Because at the end of the day, it is heroic. You know? But I'm the same way, man. I like Arth. That's why Arth and I feel like Arth and I work well, is Arth can read things and understand them well enough, whereas I'm a little more visual with it. And there are videos on the bottom of the playbook underneath the resources for each of the fights based off what we were going after. Would you say you're the same way too, Manatee?
I am. Totally.
Yeah. So, let's get into Fetid here. What do you think about Fetid here? Fetid is going to be the first check, isn't it?
Easiest.
The easiest?
That's the one I thought would be the easiest.
Really?
Mechanics-wise, yeah.
Well, it's mostly just a DPS check from what I can see, and a healing check.
Yeah.
It's just like a... Can your raid do...
harder on the healers.
I'm sorry?
I think it's going to be harder on the healers than anything.
What do you think, Arth?
This is the raid check. I want to call this a damage healer tank check. This is everybody. Can your raid do this? Can your raid group do this raid?
Mm-hmm.
Like, are your tanks up to snuff? Is it your healers up to snuff? And is your damage up to snuff? Your damage has to be quick to switch those eggs and quick to switch back to that boss, especially after Frenzy goes off.
So let's go ahead and walk through this guy. Let's do this next boss a little different. Let's walk through this guy and we'll just kind of like discuss the abilities as we go. So we got Shockwave Stomp here, Arth. What do we? That inflicts about 35 physical damage to all the players, knocks them back. Knocks people back, dealing physical damage. This is pretty much like a basic like thing that happens during the fight, right? We just have to position the boss in a certain way so the DPS doesn't get knocked back into a weird place.
Yeah, we gotta... It's in between the middle and the front. There's a pillar that we can tank the boss on.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get knocked back, there's a place for you guys to stand and not get too far knocked back.
Yeah, and if you look at the playbook, and I have it opened up now on stream, you can see like our idea of where our positioning is going to be. It's kind of like Arf said, it's like in the middle a little bit, but it's also off to the left side when you walk into the room.
Yeah, and that range DPS can be over there in the bottom middle corner too, and also not get knocked back too far.
Exactly.
Just depending where just depending what works best for us, because you can do it in both slots.
So waste disposal units, what's up with that?
Waste disposal units is just if you stand in those where those like little like intersections are.
Mm-hmm.
It can spawn waste disposal units, and when those spawn, they spawn eggs. You stand in those though, you're gonna get a nasty debuff.
Okay. And then you got the eggs. So when we call them eggs, the actual name of them are corruption corpsicles. Is that correct? Corpsicles?
As close as you're gonna get.
We call them eggs because it's easier. So when we talk about eggs, just remember we're talking about corrupted corpsicles. They're the ones that are going to spawn in sets of 2. They heal about 1% every 2 seconds, and they release enticing essences. It draws Fetid Devourer to them, and he consumes them. Pretty much when he consumes them, it heals him for like 10% his health. So obviously we don't want him to get that. If he gets like 1, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. If he gets 1 on Heroic, that might be a different story. On Mythic, that will definitely be a different story. But if 1 goes off, not a big deal. But obviously we don't want that guy nom-nom-nomming on eggs all night. Any thing to add about corruption corpsicles corpsicles you want to talk about, like the eggs?
Not really. It's pretty straightforward. The melee get the ones closest to the boss range, you get the ones further away. If an egg spawns right there where we're tanking it, both of you guys have to smash that one, and then the range have to go off and go get that egg and nuke it down very quickly.
Right.
But no, this fight's very easy, especially for the range DPS. It's not hard for you guys to really target swap.
And then the Rotting Regurgitation. At 100% energy, Bob takes as a random DPS and does a frontal cone. Don't stand in front of it. So with that thing, does it pick a person and then that person can move out of it and it just kind of like shoots in that direction? Or is he will it follow that person wherever he goes?
You can move out of him.
Okay, so there you go. So that's pretty easy. Just dodge the frontal cone. I mean, we're all Mythic Raiders here. We can do that. We got a healing mechanic up here. Melodorus miasm, my asshole. The foul stench of the area sickens the player. Ooh. So it gains to a random player and takes dot damage and needs to be kept healthy. So a little bit about this mechanic, Arth. What do the healers need to look out for this one?
So it's just after you get this debuff, it's a very light ticking debuff, and then after it ticks away, it starts getting heavier. If you stand in that, I call it the trash dump because that's what it looks like. If you stand in the trash dump, it'll automatically switch to that, and it'll be even worse.
Okay. We got ourselves a Putrid Paroxysm. It's another healing mechanic. Inflicts 26 nature damage every 2 seconds for 6 seconds. This effect stacks. If a player with
That's
Putrid...
the second part of it.
Right, that's essentially what he was just explaining. Yeah. So, we got some tanking mechanics up here. We got some tanky boys in here. So the tanks are going to be, for this fight, I think we have set up is Malk and you? Blood Death Knight and Windwalker? Was that right? Or was it Bear? For a Mythic, when we do this, I think we had it set as Blood DK and you, right? Or was it a Bear and you? For Fetid.
It's Arth and Studs.
Okay. So the tanking mechanics. This should be something you're very familiar with. Thrashing Terror. Terrible Thrash. What do we all know about these?
So So when you're taking the debuff as the tank, the main tank will have the boss, and then it'll give the debuff to the off tank, and then it does cleaving damage at the same time. So you guys have to take turns doing that.
Jeremy says Windwalker tank. Lol. Kappa. So at a 50% health, the boss goes into a frenzy, and he deals 25% more damage. It takes 50% more damage. So, obviously, we're not going to hear and we're not going to pop CDs here. Because fuck that, right? I don't even get a giggle. I fucking hate you guys. All right, so we're going to pop CDs. We're going to hear here. This is obviously the burn phase. This is the damage check. We can hit that damage check. I've done plenty of dungeons with most of the people in this guild to know that the damage is fine. And then you come up here and we got the summary. And it shows you a little mini map. It tells you what to worry about. And then you got the mythic placeholder. So, Dead and Devour. What do you think we're going to struggle with here when we're going into this? Like, what do you think that our raid group will have issues with and what we should look out for?
Definitely after the 50% mark, especially
Sorry.
I think some people underestimate like how much that frenzy is gonna hurt, especially on the tanks. If the tanks let their active mitigation like slip badly, it's gonna be over for them. And then when they die, it's gonna kill the other tank.
Right.
Just like Varamathras. You're very much linked to that other tank, and if they go down, you're gonna go down too.
So, do you think it's mostly just the tanking stuff we'll struggle with? Because from what I can tell, it seems like the DPS essentially just don't stand and stuff, kill the eggs. That's pretty much it, right? Like, do good damage, kill the eggs. Your job's done. It feels like mostly you got the tanks just kind of have to figure out their groove, which, I mean, you guys usually figure that out pretty quick. So.
Hello?
Hello, sorry, I just
Oh, I was talking and I was muted in Discord.
Oh, I was very confused.
Yeah, so I was talking on the stream. They can hear me, but you guys couldn't. Sorry. So I said pretty much like the DPS, it's going to be easy for the DPS. They're just going to have to do good damage, do good mechanics, don't stand and stuff, kill the eggs, bada bing, bada boom. It's going to be easy. Mostly, I feel like what this is going to be on the tanks. And you guys are going to figure that out pretty quickly because, I mean, it's you guys. So it's like Manatee said, I think this should generally be a pretty easy kill for us. What do you guys think? Easy kill?
Yep.
All right.
We might struggle on it. I don't know. We'll see when we
The
get there.
faith.
I have faith.
We
It's
have
just
such opposite opinions.
realistic. Like I think we're gonna feel that frenzy, and then we're gonna have to reassess resources when we spend them at the start.
True. All right. So next up, we got Zekava.
The Herald.
The Herald of N'Zoth. The Herald. So, let's go ahead and get into this boy.
I only have one thing to say. His tentacles look pretty cool.
They do. He's a cool looking boss. I mean, let's take a minute to appreciate how cool this guy looks. He looks like a cross between, like, you know those bugs from Pandaland?
Yeah.
And then he's got like a little old god shit going on with him, but I think the bugs were controlled by old gods anyways, so conspiracy.
He looks like an alien with a long blue beard.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna go ahead and go through this a little quicker than we did Fetid. So Arth, we got first up, we got Might of the Void. What do we need to know? What's the quick and dirty about this tanking mechanic here?
The void spawns 3 sets of rings. There's 2 ways to deal with this mechanic. You can either stand in each center of the ring, which requires your raid to move 3 times in succession, or you can move your raid completely on the other side of the room and do 1 long movement and stack up and just heal through the other 2 bursts of rings.
And then the Void Lash, that's another tanking thing, which you just went over. And then we have the Shatter, with an increased physical damage by 50%. Ooh-wee. What about this Shatter here?
Shatter's not that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of the Void Lash because it reduces healing done.
Now, I think Surging Darkness, this is a healing mechanic.
Which I actually want to test and see if you can AMS that.
Which,
Void Lash.
Void
It's on
Lash?
my notes. Yeah.
might be able to. So the quick and TLDR about the Surging Darkness here. This is a healing mechanic, guys. So if any healers in there, this is the part of the podcast where you're going to want to listen up a bit.
Yeah, these were the rings that I was talking about. It's the exact
okay.
same thing.
Gotcha. And then Titan Spark someone that does random damage.
Yeah, so we're just gonna take random damage throughout the fight. So like something will never be at 100% health. So people like a holy priest, a resto druid, a monk, stuff like that. There's kind of healers where they have smart heals or they have a ticking dot heal. Are really good on these kind of fights.
And then we have our ads. The Swishless Warrior kind of just fixates on somebody, runs after them. He doesn't do crazy amount of damage when we get into normal, and probably in heroic he does actually do that much. But I think what we're doing with these guys here is you're going to death grip them all together and we're going to stun them and just AoE them down, right?
Yeah, so we're going to bring our Blood DK for this one, and he's going to grip it in. And then we're going to stun it, slow it. We're going to try to keep it on top of the boss so that way we get so that way we cleave on it, then directly switching targets.
So rolling descent with the ominous cloud. What do you got to say about that one?
Rolling descent's easy to deal with. It's another take the shit out of the raid and don't stand in it. If you stand in it, it spawns that.
Right.
In that ad base, especially on Mythic or Heroic, it might be a little rough for us to handle it, but we might be able to squeeze. But definitely on Mythic, that's a wipe.
Right. So we're actually... Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I was just trailing off.
No, I was just going to say we're actually running a little short in time here, and we still have a few more bosses to go through. So instead of going through it all, which I thought would have been nice, we'll just go back to our original thing of just talking about them. Guys, do stick around. When we're done with this podcast, we will be hosting Sparty. Sparty's doing a Sparty's Coach's Corner. He'll be talking about Uldir 2, essentially what we were doing, but going a little bit more in depth. He has more time to do it than we do tonight. But go check out Sparty, show the support, spread the Nerv love. Go ahead and, just show the love. Just remember, when you're walking out there and you have the Nerv title on you, you want to go ahead and flaunt that shit. The more that you interact with other people, the better it is for us. And, I think Manatee was going to... I wanted to bring this up. I don't know if I mentioned, but, like, Manatee and me and Arth were all on Twitter. We're very active in the WoW community, so get on Twitter, get active with us. I have a group that I have on there where I can track all the Nerv people. If you need help with Twitter and setting up how to make lists and stuff so you can keep track of people, get on Twitter. It's not... At first, it's a little intimidating, but once you get on there, it actually is very fun. I have a blast interacting and talking to the different members and people of Stormrays and community figures. It's a lot of fun. But back to this boss. What do you think is going to be the hardest thing that we're going to have to overcome when we're going into Herald?
Definitely just trying to see if we can cheese it.
And what do you mean?
For lack of a better term. With running away from the rings and not having to move from one center ring to another.
Right.
I definitely think that might be a challenge for us to the point where we might have to do it properly. But if we can cheese it, it'll be so much better for our healers' mana efficiency.
Manatee,
I love cheesing things.
do you think we're gonna? Do you think this is a hard one?
It could be if we can't cheese it.
I think we'll be fine. Like, I honestly don't really see us struggling. I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably the more optimistic one because I just think, of course, we're gonna wipe on a few things. I think that if anything, we'll struggle on the last two, personally.
I agree.
But
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, like normal, heroic, we're just gonna fucking blow through it. We might have a silly wipe. Heroic, we're gonna blow through for the most part. We'll wipe maybe a couple times, but once I feel like we're the most time we'll spend. If we don't get on the second night, we'll be on that third night when we're spending most of the time doing the last two for AOTC. Is there any tips that you want to give to the raiders listening right now about Herald, Arth?
Bring your mobility.
Get your wheelchairs out. All right, we'll have the Windwalkers and Demon Hunters push us.
I'm not kidding. Like, if you have a mobility talent, that's the one fight that you're gonna want it on.
In all seriousness, I was just fucking around.
Yeah. Like, in all seriousness, mobility.
All right, boys. Mr. Period is up next. Mr. Vectus. All right, so the strategy for this guy, everyone bring one tampon.
I can bring multiple tampons. I can bring a tampon for everyone.
Soak this bitch up.
Super or regular or...
So
This boss
Vectus,
is very deep.
do you think this guy's gonna be easy, Arth?
Yeah. I don't think he's going to be that challenging. He just switches between phase 1 and phase 2 every 25% health, guys. And it's like, I need you to stand here until your stacks are too high, and then run out of the group until your stacks come off, and then restack with the group. You get a special debuff, you're going to go like 5 yards to where his right leg is, and you're going to stand there, and then everybody's going to nuke down that ad. And then when we get into phase 2, every time we get into 25%, you guys have to stand in circles and dodge waves. Ooh, Jesus, I don't know.
It sounds pretty easy, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. Anything that you think we're gonna have to really work on? I know this is a repetitive question, but like, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I didn't prepare for this today.
The one thing that might be a challenge for some people, if you're like not quick to react, or if you're not paying even the slightest most attention, you'll struggle if you're not paying attention where these waves are, because they have no predetermining factor on where they're going to spawn. They just come from the boss and then they go outwards.
So Manatee, as a ranged on this fight, what do you think that is going to be your big? You know, I don't want to talk to your Beastmaster Hunter. You can move while doing abilities. Arthilmorn.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Arthilmorn. What do you think? What do you think is going to be the biggest hurdle on this guy?
Biggest hurdle?
Mm-hmm.
Just dodging those waves. Like, phase 1's very easy. I have no doubt on our ability in phase 1.
Mm-hmm.
Phase 2, dodging those waves. Big emphasis on those. Don't get hit by them.
It's going to be easy. Like, a lot of these fights, they seem pretty straightforward, to be honest with you. And we're getting to the fights now, up next, where they have like a fucking essay of mechanics because of the ads. And I was intimidated at first. When I sat down with Arth, I was like, I think wasn't the first thing I said was like, is this a goddamn essay? What the fuck, Blizzard? Like, it was huge. It was huge. I mean, like, I think that was the first thing I said, wasn't it? It was an essay. Yeah.
It's not that much.
It seems like a lot, but it's not. Right. Because a lot of those abilities, like, it's nice to know what they do, and like for us as raid elites, or as a raid officers, it's nice to know those, but like it's not. I don't feel like we're gonna need it. It's not gonna be that big of a deal until we get into Mythic, and even in Mythic, it shouldn't be that huge. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about Zol here. Good old Zol Reborn. This sexy motherfucker.
He's so handsome.
He's got a huge hat, dude.
He's got a huge teeth.
Well, you see, they're prosthetics, right? He got like teeth enhancements.
I bet you if I yank one of those son of bitches out, he would be like, ow, and fall over.
Probably. So
Maybe we just
Arthilmorn.
need a dental tool to like this guy.
All right. So Zol Arth, good old Zol. What do you got for us on Zol? Any tips and tricks?
Remember the ad order.
So what is the ad order?
Hexers, Crushers, Progs.
So
Those need to die.
why do we go in order for those guys?
Hexers, I believe. Double check. Hexers have an interrupt on them. Crushers have a tank mechanic on them. And Krogs, they just heal for 200% of the melee they do, which isn't a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And when they reach 100% energy, they blow up. And that's no bueno. The Krogs are like, they're pretty easy. Put like Blizzard down, probably Starfall, and they'll die.
Right.
Hexers are really annoying because you gotta interrupt them. And you gotta kill the ads that come from them. And they're like little sanguine things.
Right.
If you remember that one boss from Hellfire Citadel that like had like the slow bloods moving towards them,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you have to deal with. They move super slow towards Zol. They reach Zola does bad stuff.
Now, isn't there an ability, and this, I don't think it might, actually, I think it is this one, where he'll fear you he'll mind control you until you get to or he'll mind control you and make you walk off, but you dispel it to the very end, right?
Yeah, so that's in like phase 2 or 3. Gotta double check my thing on that.
It's a really cool mechanic, but it's scary as shit. Essentially, like, you'll get mind control and you walk to the very edge, or you'll walk to you potentially can walk off. Like, that's what the end result is. But what a healer is going to do is you can dispel you right before you're going to walk out, because it'll spawn the ad, and you want to have the ad as far away as you can have it.
So on any difficulty, he's going to pick 4 random players to start walking to the edge. And you got to wait till those players are on the very edge, because they do grade-wide AoE damage when they're dispelled. And let's say you want to choose your healing parts on that fight, and let's say you want to 3-heal that fight, for example, like on Heroic. That's going to be a little bit more difficult, especially if you don't have a pre-second life grip them back over and give you a little bit more time for Dispel to come off cooldown.
I'm gonna walk off the edge.
God damn it.
I just know it.
Nah, you'll be fine. We have way too many healers for that to happen. If healers aren't dispelling them right when they're on the edge, there's something wrong with their aim.
Also, guys, if you have questions or things you want to bring up in the chat, go ahead, bring them up. I would, as more people watch this, I do kind of feel like I would like to start doing, and if we can, I would like to start doing I would like to do a Q&A before we end tonight's stream. But so yeah, Zool, overall thoughts. I mean, I think it's gonna be easy.
It'll be probably our coolest encounter. I think you guys will really like the transition.
Yes, definitely cool. I hate to say that I feel like every boss is gonna be easy, but kind of.
Right here. They really don't. We're like on like level like 1 or 2 on like great difficulty, and then it like bumps it up each grade 2.
Right. Where is this playbook found again? I'm sorry. I'm answering your question real quick. The playbook, you can find it underneath updates. It should have been the last thing that is that had been posted. Actually, I can go and show you. Go into WoW updates right here, and it should be right here. Boom. It's under WoW updates. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry about that. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say it all sounds easy because we're Nerv.
Yeah, because we're fucking awesome.
Yeah.
We're fucking kill it, guys. Like, I'm excited, dude. Like, I'm so fucking excited. We're gonna kill this raid. It's gonna be awesome.
Sure.
I'm sorry?
I think we're gonna finish before Thursday.
Oh my god.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I said it.
You can fucking lay it out there, huh? So we're gonna go ahead and get into Mithrax here.
I like his name the best. I don't know why.
He is a big boy.
To be honest, he looks scary, guys. This is a personal responsibility fight. This is where you cannot be dumb.
Alright, Arth, lay it out for us.
So, throughout the fight, you're going to gain this debuff, and it's going to keep ramping on you. And you're just going to gain shitloads of stacks, and it's going to be bad news bears. But don't worry, every time you gain you get damaged by that, you're going to spawn these like little light orbs for yourself, and they dispel 2 of those stacks of debuffs on you. So it is on you to get rid of your debuff and not waste them all, because they will consume if you touch them at all. So let's say I'm Arthilmorn and I am only at 1 stack. I'm a ranged DPS. I'm going at it. Oh no, the big AoE cone is in front of me. I'm scared, and I just ran into like 20 orbs. Now the tanks can't clear their stacks, and you wipe the rating because of that. You have to be very careful when you're moving around this room.
So this, as Fetid Devour was a raid check, this is a trial check. So this is the fight where we see if you are good with mechanics. Because what is the thing? Let's say together, guys, like people that are in this podcast right now, what is the most important thing that we're looking for with Raiders when we're going for cutting edge this time around?
Consistency.
Consistency. Manatee, you didn't say it.
Oh, I thought we were gonna say both.
Okay, we'll start over again. We'll do it on 3, okay?
Okay.
Okay. You ready, Arth?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Consistency.
It's consistency.
Oh.
Consistency.
Fuck, I got confused again.
I mean,
Top
I'm looking for boobies.
world first demon hunter.
well, because let's take a second here. Let's be honest. Like, you can look at, and people. I don't know if people believe us when we say this, but and Manatee's here, Arth's here, and they could probably vouch for me. But again, this is exactly what we did. When we were sitting down and we were like, okay, so we built the guild, we're good to go. We want to do cutting edge now. We're ready. We talked to guilds. We talked to a lot of different guilds, and we're like, what's the most important thing? They all said consistency. They said even if you're performing at your DPS is average, right? Or above average, that's fine. If you're going to be a fucking god, all the power to you, but you don't have to be a god. You just have to be consistent with your mechanics, because the most annoying thing, and the thing that holds every raid to your back, every raid guild back, is the fact that one or every other poll, there's one fucker just dying to some stupid shit. If you can get the raid to always be consistent and always get to the next phase, and not have to keep going back and do other phases, you can kill it. Like, I mean, isn't that right, Arth? Like, didn't we talk to like multiple guilds and like really dug into seeing what we needed to do this time around?
Yeah. Yeah,
This,
like, in all honesty, when we're doing our mythics with you guys, we're looking to see if you're doing them with the same. You took that mechanic, you did the mechanic, you learned from it, and now you're consistent about not doing it again next week.
right. And that's why, like, our general rule is like 3 polls in, and we for at least so at least for normal and for at least for heroic, 3 polls in, you should know the fight. There's no reason that you can't be able to do well. When we're going into Mythic, that's a little different story. We're trying to figure out things. It's a much higher skill level. It's a much higher difficulty. We're a little more lenient with that. That's more of a thing that we kind of have to just see. But like in generalization, like as we're doing it, people kind of understand that we're at a place where we should start killing the boss. And if people aren't getting and they're not doing it, then they're just not.
In all honesty, there's people who are like not doing well after 2 to 3 pulls, hasn't even touched a video. Like, you can say all you want that you don't learn unless you do it, but you gotta at least watch the video once and be able to say, at least know where you're at in the encounter and what boss you're at.
Right. And it's like Art just said, like, I agree 100%. You know, there are people who learn differently, but it's always very important to at least read the fight, at least watch the fight.
Yeah,
It's
you
never
can see the layout of the arena that we're going to be fighting in.
Exactly.
Where they're standing.
You shouldn't be surprised that Zol has a shitload of ads.
Exactly. Especially as a range. That's a good right. And that's a good example, Manatee. It's like as a range, like you want to know the layout of the land, because you got to know. Well, you don't fucking count your Beastmaster, but like if I'm like casting, if I'm casting, I'm throwing out an Ember Bolt that takes like a couple seconds to cast. Like, it's a big cast time. Like I need to know that where I'm standing is going to be okay for the next couple of seconds. That is why my pet peeve is when fucking priests life grip me. You fucking life grip me in raid anymore. I purposely will move out of the last second because I know that I can get this cast out, then move out of the last second and optimize my DPS that way. It triggers me, man. It triggers me when priests pull me because they think I'm going to stand in it, but I'm not going to stand in it. I'm moving halfway. Got a couple questions here.
Sometimes you're blinking into me and killing me.
We got a couple questions here. Are you going to be streaming the raids? Yes, we will be streaming the raids. If you are new to the guild, we do. I'm sorry, we might not do an opening of the raid video this time around just because we were so slammed with a lot of things going on. But generally what we do is we do an opening of the raid, kind of like cinematic video where it shows just like a little fun video. We have usually like 3 or 4 people streaming the raid from multiple point of views. And then when we kill the boss, I get those point of views, I put it into a video, and then we have a kill video. Question for Dak, how much do I got to pay to make me one of those NG mounts? 4 million gold. So going on. Let's go ahead and get into our last boss here. Gahoon, Arth. Gahoon. The suck boy.
No, this is another ad management phase boss fight.
Do you think it's gonna be a difficult one?
No, gotta know which 3 ads to kill. I reorganized the groups and everything, and I can tell you when to do the stand and where to go get the things.
Hold on.
Oh,
I want to just say something real quick. He was telling me, like, the mats don't cost 4 mil, and I'm a scammer. Well, actually, the mats don't cost anything. They just cost my time. I have to go into the dungeon and scrap them. So it's supply and demand, dude, and there's a high demand, and I'm definitely going to milk that shit. Continue. Continue.
you gotta kill the Terrors, the Blight Spreader, and the Dark Young. And there's one of those ads, I don't remember right this minute. They had 100 energy, they empower everybody by 25% in their circle. Players and enemies included. So the tank's gonna run that out to where there's no enemies around them. And then group 1, 3, 5 are gonna stay in the first one, then groups 2, 4, 6 are gonna stay in the second one. And you guys alternate. If you get more than one of those stacks, you're gonna die. And then there's gonna be our upper team. There's 2 of those. And that's gonna consist of like a Holy Paladin, Windwalker Monks, and Demon Hunters. And they're just gonna go up, kill the ads, so that way there's a path generated. And then use their super cool mobility to get on through. And bring the light to the power matrix. Once they get the power matrix, it starts the boss fight, basically. We all have to stack up. We got healing cooldowns already set and ready to go. And we're just going to heal through it. Gahoon will spawn. Don't look at certain times. Move the shit out of the way. And then, while at the same time, they're still going up and getting power matrices, we do it again, and then we can pop heroism right after that, right during that, and beat on Gahoon. And he'll drop like a... Well, I think we get to do it 3 times in total in this entire encounter?
Yeah, 3 times,
and
for sure.
Our damage.
Yep.
And then we'll get into the final phase, and it's exactly just that, except I don't think we get a power matrix. We might. See what happens. Just depends on our damage.
So, Gahoon, what are your thoughts on... So, obviously, this is the last fight. The last 2 fights are very ad management heavy fights. And these are the fights that I thought we were going to struggle on. At least, not struggle on, but we'll have a little bit of a hiccup with them. What do you think that, if you had to give people right now, what do you want them to look out for the most?
Stay out of the tank's way, in all honesty, because some of these ads have a frontal cone ability, just like Uldir, where they'll smash the DPS and kill them. If you're a light person, and I assigned you to that role, get that matrix ASAP, so that way that fight lasts shorter and we have more mana.
Okay.
Don't slack on that job, because it's the most important job.
Right. Manatee, do you think this is going to be a difficult one for us?
I think the most difficult part is people going to be asking, which group am I in?
They shouldn't ask that. In RT notes, I have it very well displayed, and you can tell what group you're in even before raid now.
I know, but you know people.
Yeah, we shouldn't ever get those questions anymore.
Right. So, overall, I'm really excited for this raid. It's going to be really fun. There's a lot of lore stuff going on here, so obviously when we're going to the normal, we're going to let everyone get their oohs and ahs out of the way, but we're still very much going to get going. We're going to get it done. Normal is essentially going to be the place where we're going to gear up, and we're also going to, this hasn't been discussed, but I'm pretty sure Art's going to agree with me. If he doesn't, go ahead and say no, or we'll talk about it later. But we're going to pull a lot of trash when we're able to because of BOEs. Yes or no? Maybe yes?
Maybe.
Oh,
depending on how I feel.
love BOEs.
BOEs, though. Think we could sell those for the fucking guild. Are you ready for...
No. Those will be selling them for people's personal wallets.
Yeah. So we got 20 minutes left. Please, again, guys, I really would appreciate if you stuck around. We're gonna be hosting Sparty again. He's gonna be doing his coach's corner, where he's gonna be talking about BFA Uldir raid, and kind of giving his tips about it. We're gonna be watching it. I know Arthur's gonna be watching it. and we're gonna kind of like check it out because like the dude's been doing like Death Chesters and Zero to Heroes for a long time, and he's actually helped us out a lot with the advice that we've done, or helped us out with a lot of advice and whatnot. So it's gonna be fucking awesome. Check him out. He's a really super cool dude, and you'll like it. So now we're gonna go ahead and we'll open up to Q&As. Floodgates open up. Give us all your questions, whether they be silly, stupid, raid related, anything, community related, ideas, suggestions. Load them out for us. We're just gonna kind of do a little bit of small talk here for the next 20 minutes, and we'll answer them as they come in. But so let's get the small talk going. Arth, as far as Uldir goes, which fight are you looking forward to the most?
Mother.
And why is that? Because you want to suck Mother's tail? Sorry.
No, I just think it's probably the most unique encounter in the entire raid. I don't think there's ever been something that's been done like the Mother fight's been done before.
Okay. We got first question here from Ro H Druid, who's actually one of our newer members. And again, welcome to the guild, man. Really happy to have you here. You guys seem like really cool cats. He asks, tomorrow LFR guild run as soon as it comes out. Does LFR come out the day of reset? Yeah, I didn't.
It comes out when Mythic comes out.
Okay, yeah. So LFR guild run.
But that would be cool.
I mean,
I think you can't do it unless you have all of them. It's either you have, I think the least amount you can have is 6 people, or the most, or you have to have the entire raid group. You can't have anything in between.
I don't think that's true.
I think it is.
You can't queue as a big group for LFR, are you sure?
You can, as long as
sure
it's as long as it's 25 people. But if it's anything between 6 and 25, I don't think you can.
I mean, we can sit there.
I've tried to do it before.
We can sit there on like a. I mean, the thing is, like, we couldn't do it as soon as it comes out because we have raid at 9 o'clock, and then we have Wednesday, Thursday. We could, and then we have Friday, which is our off. So like on the next week. So this week we're doing normal heroic. Next week we'll be doing mythic all day on Monday, or I'm sorry, on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday and Thursday we'll be doing heroic. If we finish heroic up earlier, then we'll do mythic on Thursday. So with that being said, on that week, when on Friday, which is our off night for the socials and alts or even mains I want to go, we'll be running normal as a guild there. And it's not just, so the thing with our social runs, it's not just like this kind of hash pack of whoever comes. People still have to perform a certain way. It's a little lower than what our standards are, but they still got to perform a certain way so we can get through the raid, and it's enjoyable because no one likes wiping. So the only time we would have time to do LFR would be like on Saturday or Sunday, so it'd be weird. I think
he was talking about right as it came out.
Oh, right as it came out? Probably not going to be able to do it because it would have to be scheduled. Joseph says I only do LFR for runes and has 3-4 gear. Yeah. LFR to kind of see first fight. Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, that's the thing, though.
But it's not going to come out until Mythic.
Right, LFR will not come out until Mythic, so it won't come out to the second week. So the week that, so this Tuesday when the raid comes out, LFR is not going to be available anyways.
Yeah, we'll be doing normal and heroic before LFR will even be out.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll be stepping into normal and then doing heroic. Usually the raid is broken into parts and each piece is, yeah. Pretty much. So again, keep asking questions. If you guys have questions, really would like to hear more questions. Manatee, do you have anything that you're looking forward into in Uldir, and maybe any fights?
Well, he stole mine. Mine was Mother.
Was it really? Why do you guys want to do Mother? Fuck Mother. I want
like
Cahoon, dude. I want to kill that blood bitch.
I think it looks unique too. I really like the different rooms with the energy. I think that's awesome.
God, it sounds so boring. I'm sorry.
You're boring.
No, it sounds boring to me.
It's that it's boring
it's
when
just
you're trying to run against the wind and you can't even cast because you're not a hunter. Loser.
Oh my god. So yeah. First wing September 11th. Yeah. Second. Yeah. I mean, it's just typical how it usually is. Sometimes they'll have like a 2-week gap in between wings, but usually it's like one after another each week. I'm looking forward to the lore, honestly. Like, there's a lot of unanswered. I don't know if anyone in here. I think Arth follows the lore pretty good. Manatee, I don't know if you do or not, but there's a lot of stuff that we're gonna learn in Uldir. You should. You should follow the lore. Like, no, listen. Like, you don't understand, dude. Like,
I'm too far behind. There's how many years of lore?
Okay, so that's how I was. Well, no, I wasn't like that because I grew up with it. But, like, that's how Kizu was. But, like, I told her, it's like, if you're going to get to any kind of lore, and I think Arth can vouch for me here, is Old God lore is the best lore.
No, Arthas was the best.
Fuck you, Arthilmorn! I'm sorry. I strongly disagree. Strongly disagree. Learn more lore for me equals escape to skip it. The lore is good though. Like, this old god stuff is really cool, and the thing that's interesting about, if you don't know about Gahun, is he's not really an old god. He was like a creation by like an experiment that went wrong by the Titans, and there's just like a lot of stuff going on in there that I'm really excited to see. So
you're an experiment gone wrong with the Titans.
God damn it, Arth. Anything else you guys are looking forward to on the reset?
Hey,
Warfronts.
bro, you don't have to press escape if you get the add-on called Azeroth Autopilot. It'll automatically skip all cutscenes for you. You won't even have to do anything.
We don't talk about those kind of squares in this house.
Is that the case?
I would also like to remind everybody with Mythic Plus coming out tomorrow, be nice to people. Be nice to pugs.
Yeah, so
don't wear the Nerv name wrong.
That's the thing. So, like, I get it. There's some pugs out there that really aren't that great. Just take it with a grain of salt. Take the high road, man. You take the high road. Just take it as like a damn. This sucks. It sucks. I got this dude, but like, just get out of that dungeon and be like, I am not going to do that dungeon with this guy anymore, and just move on with your life. As we get more and more infamous on our server, and which it is becoming very apparent who we are, we have a certain. It's like when you sit there and you go, God, man, I'm probably gonna get, if anyone from the server's watching this right now, I'm gonna get roasted, but Club Camel, they're all a bunch of assholes, man. Everyone on the server knows they're all a bunch of assholes, but that's the reputation they built for themselves. So the reputation we have for us is generally pretty, I mean, I don't know, we're pretty neutral, but like, no one really hates us. Put them in the little black book. Exactly. We have a black book on the fucking officer Discord, I'll have you know. But who's excited for Warfronts?
Yeah.
What? Are you?
They don't give that much reward. It's just 340.
What do you mean? It's 370 gear.
No, it's 340 at the start.
No, it's not. Shut up. Is it?
It doesn't get that higher until weeks.
No, it's not. Guys in the chat, is it really? Links if it is.
You get more for it to 355, but it's not that special.
I swear to God, it's 370.
If it's not 370, I'm gonna be very upset with you because I got hyped. Can we just talk about something really fast?
All I hear is win when Arv talks to Stinky. Is he in a win total? He's
it's like 90 degrees in my house. Leave me alone.
What were you saying, Manatee?
I am very upset.
Why are you upset?
Because I have the talent, which Valshaw's going to yell at me. Don't yell at me if you're here. I have the talent, the thing learned that says my troops will be recruited instantly. I just recruited troops and there's a timer on it. Bitch, where?
Oh
Bitch, why? Why is it doing this? I'm very upset. Somebody email Blizzard, please. Yeah, they need to fix it. I'm pissed.
Arth, people are roasting you in chat right now.
I don't
Arth historically keeps his mic taped to the roof of his mouth.
That's impressive. How do you keep tape in your mouth?
That's a good point. Did you see what Joseph said? He says, I don't know if we're neutral. We've crashed the market a ton. That's true. We crashed the ink market, the nice salmon market, the anchor wing market. We bought all that shit, dude. We bought all that shit. We're lazy fucks here in Nerv.
And by we mean Slicks.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like Slicks bought all the fucking anchor weed. It was crazy. We still got like 15 minutes here to our boy comes on, but
make sure you're always checking WoW updates and Discord updates.
Mm-hmm.
That's where all the information about everything's gonna be.
Oh yeah, guys. So
if you have a question, it's probably answered there.
Look at our fucking beautiful Discord. Look at all this stuff. Look at the hard work your officers put into giving you beautiful updates. Guys, since we got you all speaking and you're here, one more time, we have a kick-ass giveaway going. Kick-ass. You really should enter it. Airdrops. Airdrops. I do love our Discord. Our Discord is awesome, man. It's a really good Discord. We have a really solid community. And we have a really great community manager. You guys should be thankful. I'm pointing in the wrong direction on stream. Let me point this way. You should be thankful that you have someone that cares as much as Manatee does. She gets really excited about doing these community events for you guys and trying to come up with these exciting things. Manatee is just like Arth and bleeds green. I'm pretty sure if Manatee could, she would drain her blood and replace it with Mountain Dew.
I would.
Exactly.
Maybe not Mountain Dew.
Well, what else is green?
Oh, real quick, funny story. Off topic.
Yeah?
I once worked somewhere where the person actually injected Mountain Dew into their veins. It's really weird.
No, they didn't.
No, I'm not shitting you. They did it at work.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's off topic, but man, that was creepy shit.
I got a very juicy topic I can open up that will get people talking. You ready for this? What do you guys think about Azurite armor?
It's fun.
Oh, it's fun. Okay.
I really don't have a problem with it. I'm neutral about it.
Neutral.
Just neutral.
Do you feel like it's a better edition of what we had in Legion for artifacts?
No, they should have put all our traits into our necklace and then changed it every tier.
I liked the weapon better.
Yeah, I was going to say Battle for Noah's Ark. So, I was going to say, like, I like... Because with this is more of where we're going into the modern WoW right now, right? And I like that... as of recently, because if you remember in WoD, all we did was level up when geared, but then, so they added that extra layer of progression, right? And I liked having something to level up and work on other than just my level, because after I level in a gear, what else do I have? Well, having something else to look forward to and level up was good. I don't necessarily feel like So with the artifact weapon in Legion, I could look forward to abilities because they were interesting and they were fun and they were interesting. With the Heart of Azeroth, I don't know what it is. Like when I level up, I don't really look forward to the next level. Like there's nothing to look forward to as far as like traits. Like the traits are kind of boring. The most interesting trait that I have is probably the worst trait for me. It's I think it's called like Azurite Overflow or something, and it creates like a little pool of Azurite underneath me, and I can stand on it and it increases my stat by 300 for X amount of seconds. And it's probably the only cool one that I have.
I don't have any cool ones, I don't think.
Dinky says, I like it, but not that each piece has different stats, meaning there are multiple chess pieces, all with different stats and abilities. So, I don't know if you know, and you probably do know, but when let's say you run a Tol Dazar and you get like a chest off one of the bosses in there, and then you look at the Azurite traits, that boss will always drop that chest with those same Azurite traits every single time. So you have to know where to go to get the pieces that you need, which I guess that is kind of good to remove the RNG from it, but at the same time, it doesn't really give me much to look forward to, I feel like. Still can't X-mod my artifact over wands, please. You also can't transmog it after specs. So, look at this. Look at this fucking chat, Manatee. Look what I started.
I know, right? Everybody has questions. That's good. I like this.
You want to take some of these?
I like having a discussion.
Why don't you read some of these, Manatee?
Oh my gosh.
Thunderous
you're gonna
Blast
make
is
me
OP.
read.
It is OP as fuck. I got that one. I was like, that's the only thing I was excited about for Azurite armor. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I got really excited about that.
Belshaw says any Azurite trade where you have to stand in place is useless in practice due to fights having mechanics. Sometimes, I guess.
I mean, I guess if you get like it's like kind of like an RNG thing. So like, if for range, if I had to stay put in some place, but if I had to move and my things over there, then yeah, that kind of sucks. But
Yeah.
that ability actually procs very often on my Azurite armor, so it's not too terrible. It actually procs quite often. So if I do have to move and I miss out on like maybe 3 seconds of that, then it's not too bad.
Dinky said, yeah, I just hate that there's the best in slot I have to farm over and over. And others are dog poop. I mean, that's with everything.
Yeah, I mean,
That's how it always is. I wish they would bring back where you could change, I don't know what it was called, reforging or whatever, where you could change the stats.
Yeah.
I really liked that. But it kind of made it easy.
Yeah, I like that this kind of is going in another direction with it, but I'm kind of happy that now that the main stat is actually more important than the secondary stat. You know what I mean? Because like in Legion, like secondary stats were king. Now your main stat's a lot better than it used to be, but I also kind of feel like at the same time, and hopefully this balances out as we get more year, but I feel like the secondary stats kind of like fall at the waistline, because if you sim yourself, you'll see main stat, and then you'll see the secondary stats, but they're all kind of like even between each other. It doesn't really matter too much. I mean, it does matter to an extent. So like for mage, I have to get like 30 crit for my frost mage, but there's a website for all the best traits for everyone that may help some people pick it. I don't know if we have it on Discord. Yeah, are you talking about Blood Mallet? Is he talking about Blood Mallet?
Joseph, I just read what you said earlier about the traits not being interesting. There's a trait for tanks called Azurite Veins. That's pretty interesting. It gives me like a really big heal over a short duration of time. But not really short, it's like 18 seconds or something. And it's so good. I don't know. That's just me. My traits are kind of interesting. Like if I purify a red stagger, I now heal for the next 3 melee attacks. For also a buttload. My breath of fire also spawns more expel harms, which is more healing. Things like that. I mean, mine feel pretty interesting, at least on my end.
Right. Yeah, oh, hero damage, that's... Oh, wow. Oh, hold on, let's look at this really quick. So, hero damage. Actually, I didn't hear about this site. This is... Huh. So, what is hero damage? Is a website where you can look at the latest World of Warcraft simulations for every class. Please select your class below. Let's look at Beastmaster. If your secret is Hunter, Azurite by items, pre-raid Beastmaster. Oh, this is a lot better than Blood Mallet.
Oh gosh, what is this?
Oh, this is the dude coming in with the clutch.
Damn.
And then you can sort it by what's single target with as, dual target. How come I didn't see this anywhere on the class discords? This is really cool. Yeah, dude, thank you. This is awesome. Where'd you hear about this? Yeah, Thunderous Blast is OP as fuck. Yeah, this is really good, dude. I'm gonna actually look at this later. Guys, if you don't know, hero damage. Hero damage, that's actually really good. It's on the Demon Hunter class Discord. Fucking shit.
Demon.
Dude, the Demon Hunter class Discord is a fucking meme. I'm sorry to say. This is a big fucking meme. I'm pretty sure there's a section for porn on the fucking Demon Hunter class Discord.
Are you kidding?
I did way too many researches for my class, I guess. I mean, dude, that's good. I mean, it's not bad. That's actually good. I researched my class a lot too, and I never saw that, so that's why I was curious.
Wait, what do undead get as racials?
Undead? Oh shit, dude. What do undead get as racials?
Why do we care? That's Horde.
Oh my god.
You people are such traitors.
Like, it's really good for my class, and I don't understand why. Like, Pika Serenity still
Corpse
says loyalty
explosion?
better.
Are you sure? Is corpse explosion?
Dude, I'm gonna go make an undead real quick.
So, any other questions for us guys? Any other questions at all? Still waiting for Party to fucking come online.
Come on, Sparty.
Yeah, but so like the Azurite armor, you know, like I said before, I just don't feel like it's. Well, and I'm also curious to see what they do, right? Because when we had the Legion artifact weapons, I don't know if you remember, but once we got to, I think it was Tomb of Sargeras, it opened up a concordance, right? And the concordance allowed us to power up the concordance, and then we got into, oh man, it has always been that long that I can't remember it, but we were able to get more trades and like keep leveling up. I wonder, like, once we're done with Uldir, because I think once we're done with Uldir, most of everyone should be around. What's the max right now for your heart? Is 32, right? Or was it 37?
I don't know.
Pretty sure it's 34.
Is it 34?
Yeah.
Do we gonna have tokens to buy somewhere for the bonus rolls? So yeah, there are gonna be bonus rolls when the raid comes out. Manatee, do you know exactly where those are? Or where...
I know that somebody told me today that it was by the transmog and void storage guy.
In Siege of Borealis, right?
Yeah, but I don't know what it's going to take to buy them. I don't know what they're called. Somebody said that you can only have 2. That you only get 2. I don't know how many you can have altogether either. Somebody said 5, but that doesn't sound right to me. So
He's inside the void shop, Ali's saying.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Oh, wow. We actually were on the air long enough for my music to stop. So, let's talk about war fronts for a little bit. How do war fronts work exactly?
So, aren't they just quests on the other continent?
No.
Oh. I'm dumb.
You are.
Oh my god! Excuse you, Arthilmorn!
War fronts are over there by Arathi Basin, and you just fight on both sides. If you ever played the old Warcraft games, you're collecting wood and metal throughout the whole fight to encounter to gain roofs and build buildings and stuff to attack the Horde base, and you'll eventually overwhelm one to go kill the final boss in there.
Soon I will be able to provide seals of war-torn fate for gold, war resources for honor. Toxic. Yeah, toxic. So with the war fronts, you actually have to kill the rares. Okay, so he said, he just told me he's wrapping up soon. Sparty is. So only a few more minutes. But so the rares are the ones that drop the mounts, right?
Yeah, and that's open at different points.
So is there any?
So when you're talking about Arathi Basin, you're talking about the rares. Those are completely different from war fronts. You'll be actually able to go into the open world and go kill the rares there. That's what drops like the mounts and the toys.
Is there any benefit for the raiders?
They can drop gear, but it's 340 gear.
Okay.
Can I just have somebody help me with it when it comes out, please? Because I'm so confused. I don't know what's going on.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of people doing it. If you guys don't know, in Discord there is a channel for war fronts. I believe is all the way on the very bottom. Is called War Fronts. It's right underneath the Mythic Islands.
So, if you guys were curious why undead are good now, it's really actually pretty cool. So they have Touch of the Grave now, which does at level 1, it deals 5 shadow damage and it heals you for that amount, and you can breathe underwater and infinitely.
Oh,
So they got
wow.
rid of the ability to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they have a life steal. And that's why they're good. They're constantly healing.
Okay.
If you're curious.
So, are there any questions about the raid? Do you guys have anything at all? And if you don't have any questions, what boss are you guys looking forward to the most? Like, into doing? Like, which fight do you think like is gonna be the most fun? Like, I'm really genuinely concerned, curious to see what your guys' thoughts are on the raid coming up. Do you guys think it's gonna be easy, hard? Personally, I think the first couple of guys are gonna be easy. It's the first raid. I think it's gonna be pretty easy. Last one on Mythic for Cutting Edge. You think I'm sorry. So you think the last one on Mythic for Cutting Edge is gonna be the hardest? I'm scared that we're gonna clear it too fast. That's so. Dude, I love that attitude.
Yeah, me too.
Pretty easy to start. A lot like Ian. Huh? I'm sorry. What, Manatee?
I just said Road Druid's the best.
Yeah, Roger he's the dude. I don't think it will be a pushover like Xavius was. I don't think so either, but if it is, sure, whatever. But you know, it is what it is. My only fear is it will get too much gear for myself and guildies and won't know what to do with the excess. Yeah, guys, we're gonna
My
kill.
only fear is that everybody's gonna get a mount except for me.
Oh my gosh. So guys, again, thank you for tuning in. I know how we always do these bi-weekly podcasts, and we're starting to get our groove here and figure out how we want to do. Really appreciate you guys showing up. Again, stick around here. Literally after we're done with this spiel, we're going to be hosting Sparty. He just went live. He's doing a coach's corner. Seriously, you're going to want to stick around for that. He is good. Show him your love. When we start hosting in there, say go Nerv. Every single person in here. Let's just like start spreading the name of the guild. We're going to go up into his chat. We're going to host him, and we're all going to say go Nerv, all right? How's that sound?
Woo!
It's gonna be awesome, guys. We're gonna kill it in Uldir. It's gonna be a good time. Remember, your officers are here. If you have questions, ask us away. But again, thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Arf, do you have anything you want to say?
No.
Manatee.
I thought he was gonna say something dirty like eat my ass or something. I was sure about.
All right, guys, we're about to host Sparty here. So again, thank you so much. Remember, everyone spam go Nerv. Have a great night.
Good night.
Listen, no cheers.
All right, I'm spamming them now.
Are we